India Global.
India Global.
9, 8, 4, 3, 2, 1. Allumage Vulcain. Allumage EAP, décollage.
India's satellites aboard a French Ariane rocket blasting off from Kourou in French Guyana, a facet of India-French collaboration.
Hello and welcome.
Allons France aujourd'hui.
The Republic of France is located in Western Europe and has coastlines bordering both the Atlantic Ocean and the Mediterranean Sea.
20% of France lies outside in its overseas territories and departments.
The capital, Paris, is on the river Seine.
France has a presidential form of government.
The majority of the population are Roman Catholic. France is among the wealthiest nations in the world, the most industrialized, as well as a leading agricultural producer. It is a permanent member of the United Nations.
UNESCO, Interpol, the International Bureau of Weights and Measures are all located here.
France is ranked first among the tourist destinations of the world, and to most of us, France means food, fashion, fragrances, and film.
It's also the country that gave us the Universal Declaration of the Rights of Man.
Traditionally, close and friendly ties between India and France have seen significant progress in all areas with the establishment of a strategic partnership in 1998, and the momentum of bilateral exchanges has been maintained at the highest level. India was the first country in Asia that the newly elected President François Hollande chose for a visit in 2013. India's ambassador in France, Arun K. Singh, speaking of bilateral ties between the two countries, says,
Relations between India and France have been characterized by a high level of political understanding across the political spectrum in both countries and very strong economic and technology partnerships. France has been supportive of India's permanent membership of UN Security Council and has also supported India in various multilateral fora such as the Nuclear Suppliers Group, Missile Technology Control Regime, and other such export control organizations.
France was the first country with which India entered into an agreement on civil nuclear cooperation following the waiver given by the Nuclear Suppliers Group, enabling India to resume full civil nuclear cooperation with the international community. On cooperation in strategic areas such as defense, nuclear energy and space, Ambassador Arun K. Singh says,
In August last year, I went to Kourou in French Guyana for the launch of 17th Indian satellite by a Arianespace space vehicle. We also launched French satellites from India, and there are two joint satellites, Saral and Megatropics, for study of ocean surfaces and weather patterns. In defense, France has been a strong and reliable partner supplying Mirage aircraft and also cooperating in the building of submarines.
Speaking on the economic and commercial ties between India and France, Ambassador Arun K. Singh says,
According to present estimates, more than 750 French companies have a presence in India. The total stock of their capital in India is estimated to be about $17 billion. And their annual turnover is also in the same range. More and more Indian companies are basing themselves in France, and they find their presence in France useful in engaging with French engineering expertise, also looking at the European market as a whole and potentially markets in West Africa.
French singer Edith Piaf with No Regrets.
There is a deep interest in Indian culture in France, says Ambassador Singh.
I have found throughout the year different events being held with a focus on Indian cinema, art, promoted by different organizations and in different parts of France.
And a special aspect of the relations between the two countries is the idea of India embedded in the minds of the French, which one can glimpse scattered across France, says Ambassador Arun Singh.
In the French city of Chambéry, there is a fountain of elephants based on an earlier exposure to India. In Saint-Tropez, there is now a hotel which is called the Pandey Palace, which was built by a French general in the 20th century for his Indian wife. And there is the India Pavilion, which was built in 1878 during the Universal Exhibition in Courbevoie.
And as the world marks 100 years of the Great War, at Neuve-Chapelle in France, tributes have been paid every year to Indian soldiers of World War I.
We have a memorial to Indian soldiers in Neuve-Chapelle, built in memory of the sacrifices made by Indians who participated in the First World War, and many of them lost their lives here.
A little-known fact is the sizable Indian origin diaspora in France. Along with Indian professionals working in France, they contribute to thriving people-to-people contacts between the two countries, says Ambassador Arun K. Singh.
What is not very widely known is that there are about 100,000 Indian origin people in mainland European France, but almost 500,000 Indian origin people in French island territories of Réunion, Guadeloupe and Martinique. And these are people who came in the 19th century, and today we have the 4th and 5th generation. They have retained emotional attachment to India, cultural sensitivity to India, and want to work for deepening of cultural and economic bonds.
Strong contacts exist in the academic field too.
Another dimension is the growing number of Indian students coming to France to study here, and after studying here, working to deepen the economic engagement between India and France.
Cinema was discovered by the French Lumiere brothers, and France's Cannes Film Festival is among the premier international movie festivals.
India's leading actors and directors have marked their presence at Cannes, says Ambassador Singh.
At the Cannes International Film Festival, we always have a very strong Indian presence because Cannes is seen as an important place to showcase India's achievements in the film industry and also look at exploring the film market.
Ties between India and France are set to grow further, says Indian Ambassador Arun K. Singh.
Looking at all these aspects, one can conclude that relations between India and France have had a deep historical linkage. There is wide interest in society at deepening cultural and economic links. There is an additional dimension through the presence of a diaspora, elements of which have been here for more than 150 years, and there is a new energy coming in through scholars and professionals who are making this country as an important base for their work. But most of all, in today's France and India, there is a deep strategic convergence and a partnership in space, civil, nuclear and defense, and a very strong trade and investment relationship.
France has won the most Nobel Prizes for literature. It was Frenchman Baron de Coubertin who revived the Olympic Games. The country has hosted these World Games as well as the FIFA World Cup events. Football, rugby, tennis, cycling are all top sports here. France has the TGV, the fastest train in the world, the tallest bridge in the world, the most visited Eiffel Tower, and over 350 varieties of cheese. And you can try saying cheese to Mona Lisa of the enigmatic smile at the Louvre Museum.
That wraps up our visit. But before we go, here's a question for you. This French fighter aircraft has been selected by India for the Indian Air Force. Can you name the frontline plane? Send in your answers to indiajourneys360@gmail.com. The first 3 correct answers will get a music CD from AIR's archives and a DVD from the Ministry of External Affairs.
Congratulations Aditi Gaikwad and Ram for the right answer to a question on Russia. The Indian Institute of Technology Mumbai was set up with Russian assistance in 1958.
Until next time then, goodbye.
And travel safe.